No, I'm hyped on it. Might as well look at it. I just finished building it. Hi, dude.
That thing's awesome.
Thanks.
It was not a bike when I was here yesterday.
No.
Now it's totally a bike.
It was just a frame, and I realized I hop on an airplane first thing in the morning, 5:30 a.m. flight, and frames are hard to ride.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a problem.
So I figured I better get on it if I was going to make it a bike. So I made it a bike. I got the Z1 up there. It's a 29er trail hardtail. We got XT, everything, cranks. Whoa, I need to adjust my exposure here.
Aren't you like going to a jump park?
I am going to a jump park, but I figured since it's my first time riding since having my ankle surgery not that long ago.
It's actually not a cankle, which is impressive.
It's not looking bad. There's my little scar. There's my other little scar. But it's decent, but I figured this would police it. It's kind of like going surfing with the single fin longboard. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Just going toes to the nose, down the line, cruising, trail loops.
Yes. I was going to film a video by myself right now, but then Dusty walked in, and so I just handed him the camera. I'm going to do 10 reasons why trail hardtails rule, okay? So it's not a rule. These aren't rules. This is very free. These are just my opinions on why trail hardtails rule. Reason number 10. We're going to start at 10 and we're going to work our way back to number 1 because number 1 is my favorite. So starting at 10, you're never going to blow out the rear shock.
I had no travel.
You blew your shock.
Yep. Yeah. We took it apart and it exploded.
No way.
Number 9, there's less moving parts, so that means it's easier to maintain, it's easier to clean, and you won't spend so long trying to figure out where that mysterious noise is coming from. Number 8, if you don't like backpacks or being thirsty, a trail hardtail can fit 2 water bottle cages. Number 7, modern trail hardtails have modern geometry and modern compatibility. Even just a few years ago, a trail hardtail was like an entry point Fisher-Price My First mountain bike. These days, they're updated to be able to do any type of riding on a trail hardtail as you do on a trail full suspension. Long reach, slack head tube angle, steep seat tube angle, short chain stays, compatible dropper posts, 12-speed, long travel, forks. Add it all up and you've got a mountain bike that rides the way a mountain bike should ride. Speaking of the way a mountain bike should ride, let's go to number 6. Hardtails make you a better rider.
Give me one reason why hardtails rule.
Because if you mess up, you know it.
Yeah, that's right. It keeps you on your toes.
You're more connected to the trail because you feel every wrinkle in it. You don't have the safety net of rear suspension to iron out your mistakes. Number 5, learning how to jump on a hardtail is a pretty good way to go because a lot of people struggle to learn how to jump maybe later in life. They didn't learn how to jump as a kid and they're trying to learn on full suspension. The suspension kind of disguises what the G-forces are doing in tight transitions. So people get bucked in weird ways, their suspension isn't set up properly. If you learn to jump on a hardtail, especially if you're a little bit older, you've got a hardtail that fits you as opposed to a dirt jump hardtail, you're gonna feel the transition, you're really gonna know when your bike is under load in the G-forces of the transition, you're not gonna get bucked weird, and then you can adapt your skills to a full suspension later. But learning to jump on a trail hardtail is a pretty good way to go. Those last couple reasons are good for people who are maybe considering adding a trail hardtail to their existing quiver of bikes. But I think for reason number 4, it should be the price. If you're looking to get into mountain biking and you're sketched out by how expensive it can be, that's very true. You're looking at those top of the line full suspension bikes, and then you're looking at those bottom of the line full suspension bikes. But if you look at a trail hardtail, you can spend the same amount of money on a top spec trail hardtail as you would a bottom of the line full suspension bike, and then you're not going to be sinking money into it later. You're going to have a good platform to get you into the sport. A great fork, a top of the line drivetrain with a dropper post, good wheel set, all across the board. The components are better. You'll save yourself some money getting into mountain biking by going with the trail hardtail. Oh. This reason number 3, is for that rider, the rider who's always complaining that the local trails aren't challenging enough. We need more progressive trails. I've already mastered everything. If you feel like your trails aren't technical enough, they're not challenging enough, just get a less capable bike. Go with a hardtail and it makes Some of the bluer trails, just a little bit blacker. It just cranks up the intensity of the trail that much more, and I guarantee you, you'll have fun on those boring trails if you just ride it on a hardtail. Think about the originals, like Gary Fisher and those guys, riding clunkers. They were on a fire road, big old smile on their face. They're on cruiser bikes. They were never bored because their bikes could just barely handle the trail they were on. So get a bike that's built for less, and all of a sudden your trails will seem like more. I got one question for you.
What's that?
Give me one reason why trail hardtails rule.
Dude, they're just the funnest, man.
I call number 2, Hardtail-homie can't lose. Hardtail-homie can't lose. You're on a ride with everybody else on full suspension bikes. You just get to the bottom of a chunky section. They all had to wait for you. They get it. They're like, yeah, man, you were on a hardtail. We get why you couldn't hang with us. But on the contrary, if you smoke everybody on the hardtail and you're waiting for them, they're like, damn, this is demoralizing. They were ripping that section on the hardtail faster than us on our full suspension. So reason number 2, Hardtail-homie can't lose. And finally, reason number 1 that trail hardtails rule, the original always rules.
A trail hardtail, it's simple, it's sweet. It's like the single fin longboard of mountain bikes. It's the original. It's like a Fender Telecaster. It's like a beater truck. It's like the cheapest shovel at Ace Hardware. You don't need to get crazy to get crazy. Just get a hardtail. You're going to have a blast. You're going to save yourself some money. You're going to become a better rider. You're not going to be as thirsty. Hardtail-homie always wins.
10 reasons that trail hardtails rule. After all those reasons, you can probably tell that I'm super into this bike. And although I may not be getting rid of my full suspension trail bikes, I love having this thing in the quiver. And so much so, I'm about to take the parts off of it, throw it in the bike bag right there, and take it on a trip. I'm going to Cleveland, Ohio to go ride Ray's Mountain Bike Park with the Fox Racing crew, Ethan Nell, DJ Brandt, and one of my favorite humans on the planet, Kurt Voorhees. We're going to be doing some laps with the locals, slapping some high fives. And I figure before I put the bike in the bag, we've come this far, I might as well grab the camera, get some close-ups, and show you the parts that I decided to put on this Trek Roscoe 9. There we go. That's a nice looking ride. Let's start with the fork. It's a logical place to start. This is a Marzocchi Z1. I put a 150 millimeter fork on this thing, so pretty long travel for a hardtail. It's got a nice slack head angle with that long fork. It kind of rides like a full suspension bike that's squatted into the travel a little bit, so it corners real nice. And now let's talk about the drivetrain. This is like kind of the best part here. We've got 12-speed Shimano XT. I've got a 32-tooth chainring on here, 165 millimeter cranks. And then the 10 to 51 tooth 12-speed in the back. You seriously have all the gears you need. It's perfect. Dropper post, Fox transfer. Now let's talk brakes. The Shimano XT brakes, these things are like kind of just my go-to brakes for every bike. I've got them on everything from my dirt jump, slope style bike, on this bike, all my full suspension trail bikes, even like the long travel slash. Because they're 4-piston, I mean, you can't really ask for much more. They have so much stopping power and they're so predictable. You can't go wrong. The XT brakes. Grips, let's talk about grips. These are the Sensus Swayze grips, the Cam Zink signature grip. It's always been my favorite grip. I have these on all my bikes. I thought gray would look good on this frame. And let's talk about the frame because I think this paint job looks killer. This is a stock paint job. Comes with it. Oh, we're upside down now. We better flip the bike over again. There's that paint job. It's cool. It's like speckled. So it's like this tan with like a army green. And I found these pedals, these Bontrager line flat pedals. Kind of had to put these on this bike because it matches the frame color perfectly. There's that 12-speed shifter, and I like how this thing mounts to the brake, so you don't have to have everything all crowded up there. There's just one clamp, holds the brake lever and the shift lever. Same thing over here. One clamp holds the brake lever and the dropper post lever. I've got the Shimano dropper lever. Okay, cockpit. Now we gotta flip the bike around again. So the bar and stem, Bontrager, line 35, bar and stem. Super short stem. What is this? I think this is like 35 millimeter length, so super small. Bontrager Arvada seat. Wheels. Let's talk about wheels. 29 front and rear. The Bontrager line comp 30 wheel XR4 team issue tire. It's 29 by 2.6 front and rear. Pretty fat tires. Same tire over here on the front. 29 by 2.6. There it is. Time for the bike to go in the bag. I'll put a little montage from the trip at the end of this video.
Fix it. Yeah. Yeah! Oh! Whoa! Oh, yeah. Oh! Whoa! Yeah. Oh, yeah! Get it, Kurt! Get it! Oh my God! Oh! Dude!
See, don't give up, kids.